Hi guys and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Coachman Festival 560. These are essentially basic run through videos on how to set up and operate your caravan. Everything you'll see is test equipment. So starting off, first you've got your black hitch head here, black lever. You have to have your black lever pulled up just like so. Wind it onto the tow ball and that will push up that red button exposing a green ring. That now means that it is active. You have your handbrake just here. It is 13-pin electric, so if your car has 7-pin adaptation, make sure to bring yourself an adapter. Then you have your jockey wheel on the side just here, which is used to lift the caravan. 2 points either side and 2 points at the back. You have inserts for your legs. Now, for your legs, the caravan comes with a leg winder, or you can grab yourself a 19mm drill bit and a power drill just to make it that touch easier. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using your legs, they are simply used for stabilisation. Coming round just here, got a red propane gas bottle just here with an in-date gas hose. So the gas hose that I'm using runs for 5 years. Black ones, so just connects onto this regulator just here, hand tighten it to an extent and then just lift it up using a spanner and twist the gas on in the positive direction. On this side here you have your flue. Your flue is used to get clean air in and out of your boiler. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice, clean and tidy. Then just here we have your Acrol. The Acrol is full of clean drinking water. You've got your water pump just here. Press in on the trigger to remove it and pull out just like so. You have this blue plastic cap to go over the top of the Acrol to make sure no nastiness gets in. Then you have your strainer which sits at the bottom of the barrel. It's crucial that it does sit at the bottom of the barrel because otherwise it will just gas through air and lead to coughs and splutters. Push it in just like so and that will then mean it is active. Make sure as well, unlike what I've just done there, there's no kinks as well, as otherwise that's going to disrupt the flow. And just make sure your Acrol's topped up. Then you've got your battery locker here. This example does have the battery fitted, 2 terminals just there. Plug in for your mains and you do have a little bit of a cutout where you can push that through. Motor mover we will go over on collection. Then these 2 points just there, that is where your wastewater will come out from. You'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe to then feed into a waste master that you can then empty out at the appropriate point on site. Just here we have your cassette toilet. So to remove the cassette toilet, you press up on that handle just there and pull out just like so. When you get to your emptying point on site, twist that head to the side, open up this cap just like so. And what you want to do is tilt, and at the same time as tilting, continually press in this button here to vent. Now what I do, this is only a recommendation, twist those 2 parts in there, feed in some fresh water, give the box a little bit of a shake, and again tilt and vent. On this cap here you have measurements in both imperial and metric, and that is for your blue chemical. Blue chemical goes into here just like so, twist that back onto the cap, twist the head back to the side and push it in so that that handle sits behind those white teeth, and that as then it can't be removed. You then have your flush tank just here. This can hold 12 litres of water, however I wouldn't recommend putting in any more than 10 as you don't want to overfill it. You can also add a little bit of pink chemical which works as a bleach without being corrosive and also makes it smell a bit nicer. Now you don't want to travel with either of these 2 full, so just up here got a little bung to drain out any remaining water from the flush tank. The caravan itself will be fully drained off before you leave. Then underneath your right hand side seat you have all of this, so I wouldn't recommend storing anything underneath here. You've got first your boiler just there, then you've got these 2 yellow switches, so those are your drain valves. So when it's in the horizontal position like it is now, it's allowing the flow of water to come through. Switch it up to the vertical and that will drain off any water that is inside the system. November to March, have that up permanently as you don't want any water in the pipes that could potentially freeze over and burst them. As I said, caravan will be fully drained off, and as well, anytime that you are coming off site, just make sure it is drained off, because you don't want any damage doing to the pipes whilst it's being driven. You've got your Sargent alarm box just here. You've got your eMove box just there, which is your brain box for your motor mover. And then you have this toggle, which is essentially where you're putting your key to engage the motor mover. I will show you that on collection. You've got your solar regulator on the side just there. Then you've got all your trips and fuses just here. All your trips in the upright position and all your fuses correctly in. I would always recommend as well, carry a few extra fuses with you. Then just up here we have your main control panel. So this is essentially your engage for everything. You've got a volt reading just here, which as you can see right now is just hovering above 13. That will give you an accurate representation of the battery voltage when you're not plugged into mains. You've got a master switch just here, lights on and off here, and then awning light on and off. Just quickly nip outside, even though it's raining, and you can see that it's on just there. Then you have your water pump. Press that down, red light comes on. That will begin to feed the water from outside into the boiler, like so. As I've just switched it on, it may be a little bit not as powerful. Vocabulary is exceptional. And then just flick on your switch on both sides. As you can see, it's not that powerful as I've just dragged through the water, but you can hear every time that it gets finished, it replaces the water inside. But what I would say to do is, when you first get plugged in, wait about 2 to 3 minutes, let it circulate through, then come over to your taps, open up on both hot and cold, and you're looking for that nice steady continuous stream. Any coughs or splutters, go outside and check and make sure that the strainer is sat at the bottom of the barrel, that there's no kinks or anything like that. But quick summary: master on and off switch, water pump, lights, awning, and volt reading. And then just to the side here, we have your control panel for your heating and hot water. So you've got a dial here, which is also a button and a back button. Press that in. First up, you've got the caravan with the thermometer in it. That is for the internal temperature. You have a series of vents across the caravan, which will shoot out hot air, allowing you to heat it up. To select the heat, you press in on the dial. Just turn that off for now. Next up, you've got water heat, so you can either have that off, 40, 60 or boost. 40 degrees, 60 degrees or boost. And what boost does, it prioritises the water heat over the actual heating of the caravan itself for about 15 minutes. Gets up to temperature, then drops back down to 40. Ideal if you want to use for shower in the morning or something like that. Then you've got energy source, so gas, mixture of gas of 1 kilowatt, mixture of gas and 2 kilowatt, strictly electric with 1 kilowatt or strictly electric with 2 kilowatts. So you've got the option of gas, mains or both. Then lastly, for that top section at least, you've got this fan icon. So because right now I'm not on heating, what it gives me is a setting called vent. And what vent does, it pushes out the air inside the caravan. So if you had all your windows open, it would allow the air to circulate through. Get a nice bit of fresh air in the van. However, if I just put heating on quickly, I either have eco or high. Eco is a nice steady boost. High is a bit more vigorous if you want it heating a bit quicker. Just turn that off. It's already hot enough. Then that one there, that is essentially a timer, so it allows you to start when you'd like the heating and hot water to come on and when you'd like it to finish. So you first input your start and then you finish. And then you have your time just here. So it's currently not midnight, so you just select the correct time. Then you have some additional settings: index, brightness, language, reset, offset. We have set this to what we believe is the most user friendly. So if you'd like to have a look inside your book packs for those additional settings, please do so. Then to turn this off, if you don't want to use it in the slightest, press and hold on this middle belt. It'll turn itself off automatically. It will automatically go to that green screen as well if you haven't pressed the dial in a little while, just so it's not annoying you whilst you sleep. Then here we have your fridge operation. So right now the fridge is on, as you can see that green light inside just there. Then you've got this button here, which I press and hold in, and it begins to flash up on here. So this is my source choice. So I've used mains. That battery symbol is for when you're plugged in with 13-pin electrics, or gas. So I've got 3 choices. So let's say I select gas, I press in, then 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. 5 being the most powerful, so it's going to chill it the quickest. As you can hear, when I select gas, you gradually begin to hear it click in. Then once it's finished clicking, that means it is then active on gas. So I'm not going to waste it, so let's press on that and just flick back over to mains. Then turn it on and off, just press and hold this button just here. Nice and simple. So on and off, select button by pressing and holding in, backwards and forwards using that. Simple as that. And here we have your hob grill and oven. Everything works like a standard sort of gas cooker, except you've got electric plate just here. Just select it to whatever gas mark and it will get there. Everything else, press in on the dial, twist it to the side, press the igniter. This is what it looks like when they're all lit. As you can see, all the burners nice and lit just there. Then we have your grill. So let's see if I'm trick enough to do this with one hand. And there you go, both sides nice and lit. And lastly, you've got your oven. So press in again, and you can see all nice and lit. Only other real thing to note, you don't want to travel with your gas on, and make sure that you travel with this glass sheet down, but ensure that all of these are cold to the touch before you do so. Then just here we have your toilet operation, which you might say is bog simple. Press this button here and you can hear that motor. That motor is what will push around any water that is inside the flush tank system. Press away using that handle to open up the cassette, pull it back to shut it up. When the cassette toilet is full, there'll be a red light come on underneath there telling you to go and empty your toilet.